Alrighty. What it do? I am G, the seeker of truth. This is spiritual state. And yes, your spirit is at stake. We still going through our Bible breakdown here. We still in Genesis chapter 11. It's the Bible breakdown, Bible reading, Bible study, however you want to call it. It's real late or real early, depending on where you at. But y'all know how I do. Without no further ado, let's get to it. Genesis chapter 11, verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad above the face of the earth. I'm going to read that one again. Excuse me. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. They were trying to build a tower that could reach unto heaven. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men build. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Now right there, it say, verse 6, and the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they all have one language, and this is what they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. That's the collective consciousness right there, right? When you are of a collective consciousness, there's nothing that you can't do. This is frequencies. Say in verse 7, Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language. Excuse me, let me start that one. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So, I don't really know how I feel about 7. Excuse me. Because it sounds like we were trying to get at, like the people was trying to get at, and we were forced to stay, or they were forced to stay. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, Tower of Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And from this did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad. Here we go with this again. 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 35 years. Lived 35 years and begat Salah and excuse me, Arphaxad lived after he begat Salah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begat Eber, and Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 430 years and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years and begat Reu. And Peleg lived after he begat Reu 209 years and begat sons and daughters. And Reu lived 230 years and begat Serug. And Reu lived after he begat Serug 207 years and begat sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and begat Nahor. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years and begat sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 920 years and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldeans. Excuse me. In the land of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscar. But Sarah was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, and Sarah his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Now, we already know about the pronunciation thing, and I'm going to say it every time. How about that? But everything from verse 10 to 32, which would be the end of the chapter, is irrelevant. All that is to take the is to take the attention and to take your thought process off everything that really was transpired in chapter 11. And what everything that transpired in chapter 11, where the people was one, they was all on one thought, and we come to understand that if we all can become a one, and we can have the same language, we can have the same mind process, the same thought process, we all working toward the same thing, we all have the collective conscious, then we can do anything, because the word right there tell you in Genesis 11:6. Say, and the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Say, nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Now, I know a person might be like, well, he was talking about bad people or this, that, and the third. But in every scenario, you have to understand there's good and there's bad. So in every situation, there's good and there's bad. So these could be bad people, but you can also take some good at this situation. And what is the good that we could take at this situation? The good is that even if these was bad people, that the word has already said that they become one. Nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. And that's all we have to do. Become one. Become one. And like I say, that is the stickler right there. That is the main stick out of chapter 11, verse 6. And then to backdoor you to show you how true it is, say, let us go down there and confuse their language so they can't even understand each other. Came down and confused the language because we were talking and everyone was on the same. And like I say, you can say it with bad people if you want to, but there is truth in there, right? There's good in there because God said, I created all things, the good and the bad, right? So if you're going to accept God, you accept Jesus, whoever, the Most High, you have to accept the bad with the good. And then you can have to be able to take the good out the bad situation, have to be able to see the bad in the good situation, right? But not dwelling. I said all that to say this here. If they can do it, be it bad or evil or people of the world, then we can too. Oneness. Everything after that, the whores and all them begetting sons, and it was just to wear you out mentally from. Especially, it's not the native tongue, it's to wear your mind out. To where by the time you get done with that chapter, the only thing you happy is for that you are done reading that chapter and flipping and wrestling through all them names. But that's how we here, baby. We gonna break it down. We gonna break it down. You ain't gotta flip and wrestle by yourself because I'm ready. Tag me in. Yeah, let me come souffle something for you one time. For real. But anyway, I ain't gonna hold you any longer. Y'all gotta excuse me. Like I say, it's real late over here, but it might be real early over there. Anywho, I am G, the secret truth. This spiritual state, that was Genesis chapter 11. Y'all stay elevated.